He says, "Greeting, dear ones. This is Archangel Michael." Or he says, "This is the one you know as Archangel Michael." The reason why he wants to bring this topic to your awareness and bring it to the forefront is because many of you, he hears our thoughts. He hears what we're speaking, and he sees the vibrational frequency in which we are emitting here on Earth. And what he is seeing at times is a lot of woe is me, hardship, difficulty, difficult times. And also he knows that, and he is aware and privy to the knowledge that many of us who are watching this broadcast will be going through even more difficult stages or times in the near future. And so what he wants us to know is, as a soul coming to Earth, he helps those with whom are going to be having a difficult time. If you wish to call upon him, he is always available for you. Similar or like he is for this dear one. He wants to bring me to the forefront, and he's talking about my soul knew that I would choose a difficult journey here on Earth with health issues and surgeries, at times complications, and so my soul asked him to come and be here with me throughout this lifetime. And just as he is here for me in this lifetime, he can and will be with each of you in this lifetime, if you so wish, if you so choose, to help you get through the difficult stages, the tough times, and where he is able, help make things easier for you here on Earth overall. But there are some things that are set in stone, you see. Some things your soul has agreed upon before incarnating here, before having this temporary seeming experience here on Earth. He's saying, don't get wrapped up or carried away with the little things. He says that he views some of the material on TikTok, canceling people, getting upset with certain things, talking about certain topics that are more for content or views rather than being purposeful. So he's just saying that it's important to not get wrapped up in the little things. He's also saying know your worth and don't sway every time the waters get a little choppy. So it really is. It's about knowing our worth, toughening up, being strong, and every time the water gets choppy, you're going to have to face it, and you're going to have to deal with it, right? And to not, when the boat goes side to side, and, sometimes you go in the boat and somebody rocks the boat side to side, and that can be pretty annoying. But you can rock with the boat, or you can try to hold yourself steady in the center of the boat, and then you don't rock as much. That's really a visual of what he's giving me here. The reason why he chose this topic in regards to having a blissful life isn't always best is because it becomes redundant. And if you look at the broader perspective of your soul being omnipresent and eternal forevermore, the expansion and growth that your soul seeks is very important. And often growth does not transpire through ease or easy days. And this is in part or partially why we are going through what we're going through on Earth right now. So although we look at this as being, some of us say, troublesome times, or depending on which boat we're in, we might even view it as being the worst thing ever, just know that there is a reason, a rhyme, a purpose. It's purposeful for each of the souls here on Earth. What he's showing me is like I just got pulled out and I'm looking at Earth and I'm seeing souls coming and going in and out of bodies repeatedly over and over and over and over in the droves. So he says, like, no matter if you get your life purpose or you find what you're looking for in this lifetime or not, rest assured you'll be right back either here or in a different location, learning and growing through a vessel. But what they are requesting of us is, when the darker days come, simply call upon us. Ask us to help each of you. Keep your frequency as high as you possibly can. For that which you emit, you then attract in. It is the law of attraction. The woe is me gets more of woe is me. And we do not wish that for you. So from their perspective, having an easy go of it, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, isn't going to be what they would deem as being a good thing. There isn't as much expansion. There isn't as much growth. I certainly wouldn't be here, sitting here with each of you today without the suffering I've been through. The health struggles, the surgeries. Oh no, absolutely not. In fact, I remember working at this hotel, and one of the girls I started hanging out with, she was drinking more heavily than I was. Blonde hair. She had married a man that was in diamond drilling. So he was off gallivanting through the country finding diamonds. And she was just hanging out with his credit card, nice, beautiful house. But she seemed kind of empty and alone to me. And I would hang out with her a few times. And I was looking at her like, that could be me in the future if I don't change things. And shortly after that, I started having internal bleeding, which led to getting worse and worse and worse over months, which then led to ulcerative colitis, which then led to finally having surgery, which then led to another surgery so that I don't have a poopy bag on my tum-tum for the rest of my life. And would I want to go through it again? Nope. But I look back and I say to myself, thank goodness I am where I am. And the only way I could have gotten to where I am is through that suffering and that expansion and that growth by way of suffering. So, or not having an easy time of it, because really I could have had a life similar or like hers. And years later, I had heard through the grapevine that she was still working at the same hotel, still hanging out, still having drinks, still doing the same old, same old. Yeah, and that was the number one thing that I would always see from Jesus is, Kristin, a piece of coal put under pressure for lengthy periods of time turns into a multifaceted diamond. So that's what we're doing. We're putting ourselves under significant pressure when you come to Earth. That's why we're here. But rest assured, just because it's tough doesn't mean that we can't implement or bring in the light or the easier days of it. If your car breaks down, get good at walking or riding your bike or taking the bus until you can repair it. Or if you lose your housing, there's always buying a camper or finding a friend or a family member to live with. If you can't do that, this is my motto in life. And I don't know if you guys operate like this, but this is how I operate. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if maybe you don't know what the way is, ask for help. They'll bring somebody in, or they'll put a thought in your head of a great idea to take action steps on. So they know that if they bring something in, I will take action steps immediately. So that's what I do. And sometimes, as an indigo kid, I'll take action steps too fast. And then I just do things too quickly. Let's put it that way. Most of the time it pays off. But I'd say 10% of the time I go, oh man, what was I thinking? How much longer will these ascension symptoms continue? For the rest of our lives. What a bummer, eh? For the rest of our lives in ebbs and flows. So you'll get a break and then the next one will come in. I do notice the energy intensifies around a full moon, and most definitely when solar flares are and CMEs are shooting off the sun. Did you guys look at that picture of the sun? If you scroll down my Facebook page, you'll see it. So they show a picture of the sun several years ago. Not much happening, not much activity. And then you look at the sun now, it is popping off with solar flares and CMEs. Like the most they've ever seen. So you think source frequency is operating through the sun and blasting us with these rays in this way. But we're also getting a ton of energy washing over us in general. And then we look at the Earth's energy being impacted and shifting and changing because of the sun and because of this energy. And then that impacts us too. Notice an energy bucking up against your face. It'll feel warm. You'll feel pressure. And then you'll go around the rest of the room. So you'll know where each energy is by way of turning your face and letting, it's like when you're basking in the sun. And how does that feel when you turn your face towards the sun? It's the same thing, except that you're feeling where Archangel Michael or your guardian angels are. And the other thing that they're talking about is a deck of oracle cards for you and practicing using the deck of angel cards or oracle cards. And they're also talking about you going to my YouTube channel, and right there at the top videos on my YouTube channel is how do you use these the way the angels will teach you. Moving into alignment feels really good. Moving out of alignment doesn't feel so good. Low vibrational thoughts, low vibrational people in our lives. And if we don't start shifting certain things out of our lives that don't make us feel good on a regular basis, whether that's your career or the people in your life, whatever it may be, then these types of things kind of keep you down in life. I'm not here to be kept down. If I don't like something, then I start moving in the direction in which I'm being guided. So for example, I didn't like my career path back in the day. I hated it. I made myself get up every day and go and do it. I was cleaning people's toilets. I was scrubbing their bathtubs. You know how many toilets I would clean in a day? Like 6 to 8. Up and down stairs, up and down stairs. My knees were hurting, my elbows were hurting, my wrists were hurting, my knuckles were hurting. Everything was hurting. I hated it. But I tried to focus on the lighter aspects of it until I got myself out of it. What was the lighter aspects of cleaning someone's home? Oh, quiet time. I got to spend time on my own. And sometimes they leave some food for me or a treat or a goodie. And the most important thing for me was hanging out and enjoying time with their pets. I loved the pets and they were the best. So I focused on the lighter aspects as best as I could. And then when spirit started to guide me, I immediately took action steps. I didn't sit there and go, woe is me for another 2 years. So I started taking action steps and I started working towards a secondary path on the side of cleaning. So I still do the job, but I was working on building something on the side, and that's your only way out. Some people go to school full-time while working full-time. God knows how they do that. I don't know. I'm one that pulls something out of nothing, meaning I don't typically feel drawn to going to school, but I love self-employment. And as long as you can build something that others might be interested in or grow or be happy doing along with you, build it and they will come is the motto. But if it feels flat, stagnant, my chest feels a bit tight, and I'm not being drawn to building this business, I will not do it. Okay, so let's ask that question first. Let's narrow it down to a yes or no. Are you being attacked by the reptilians right now? No, you do have the reptilians around you. Okay, they're telling me that you've had lifetimes as a reptilian. That doesn't mean that all reptilians are bad. They're telling me that there have been a few times on occasion where the reptilians around you are running amok. but they're still not deeming them as being the word bad. It's up to you to hold your own energy, and it's up to you to make the request, and it's up to you to call in backup to take care of it. Here, I'm gonna tell you what they're telling me, which I've heard before. Some people will come to me and they're like, "My house is haunted. This is what's happening," and the angels say, "No, we're not going to help take care of it." And I'm like, "What? What?" And the reason being is because it's the person's energy, the person's frequency that must shift and change first. And yes, they could remove them from you, but it's your energy or your the law of attraction, like attract like. So something here within you is attracting them in. So anytime we have a lot of fear or fear-based thoughts, or we're focusing on woe is me, they take that as a prime target. Anytime you have, and there's another thing here, it's like teaching you to, and you're learning how to stand up for yourself. And you're a walk-in, you're also kind of new to earth. And so this is kind of like they're showing me you getting thrown in on the deep end of the pool. They could remove it, but it's your energy that must shift and change. Yeah, it's kind of hard to shift and change in the thick of it when she's getting pestered, though. Archangel Michael says, I can remove them, but it's your energy that must shift and change. Oh, okay, got it. So anytime we're focusing on things that we don't need to be focusing on, we draw that energy to us. So if we're watching paranormal shows and we're watching ET or alien or UFO shows, or we're talking about reptilians and other groups and other classes, and we keep going down rabbit holes and we get distracted by every little thing. RH negative blood type, reptilians, and you see where that takes you. It's very ungrounding. So if you're always having to feel like you protect, I am safe. I am protected. No one comes near me. I would use affirmations like there's nobody's business. Only high vibrational energies are allowed around me. Talk it into being. Are you going down rabbit holes a lot? Focusing on things online that you just don't need to be? Talking about things that you just don't need to be? I get this ungroundedness with you, and I get like I'm sick to my stomach. It's like the pit of my stomach. Nerves. I'm nervous. I'm on edge. Don't allow them to seep in. It must stem from you first. Yes, you do that? There you go. Cut it out. Focus only on what you want to create more of. You understand? Only the light. Only the lighter vibrational aspects. Sure, you're going to focus on things from time to time, but when you purposely go off the deep end and you're focusing on these things, it's not worth it because these energies are waiting. Okay. And everything you do is about grounding yourself. So maybe we stay off electronics. We don't focus on all these other little things that we don't need to focus on. We go out and it's you and the earth and the trees and leaning your back on the tree and resting on your back on the earth in the sun. And only the light is around me. Ground yourself often. Only focus on what you want to create. You see how it is when I run my courses, Paola? People try to go off the deep end. I'm like, I shut it down immediately. And it's not because that, I'm not listening to them and it's not important. It's because I want to keep the frequency of the course and the group as high vibrational as possible, and only the light may be entering the group, or me, or you. Only the light may be here for Paola. Only high vibrational energies that have good intentions with Paola may enter her space. And that is it. So I'm using affirmations for you right now. Beautiful. Practice it until the cows come home, Paola. Do it like it's your full-time job. And don't feel guilty if you go off the deep end from time to time and whoops, it's okay. Get right back on the horse, adjust the saddle, and start riding into the light again. That's right, Babette. So although you've made the request to open this portal in your home for galactic energies to be there. They heard your request, but it was not granted. Okay. And the reason why, okay, what they have done is they've created like a brilliant white portal where all of what I'm seeing archangels and ascended masters can come out of. And they've done that in front of my house too. Now, I know you've said that you want this in your home. Is this in her home or out front of her home? Out front of your home. So that just allows them to come and go more freely and readily. So you have an immense amount of light, and I see a brilliant, brilliant white light there. And any one of us can ask for this, by the way. It's just allowing them to come and go, and it just builds a lot of light on your home base in front of your home as well. And I always see like Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. I see Jesus coming in and out of that. And sometimes friends, loved ones, my loved ones, depending on who's there. And so the reason why we didn't create this galactic portal for ET energy to come and go, because they didn't feel like it was necessary or needed. You know, one thing they're saying to me is, when we have more of a passive energy, or we think that we're playing this part of a victim, and that doesn't even necessarily mean I'm a victim. It means I've got more passive energy. I'm not grounded. I'm not focused. The intention of building self-worth, self-love is not up high on our list of a priority. No one teaches this in school either, let's be real. So of course we're not going to focus on it. And that's something you learn when you get older. And so when we play that part and we play the energy of a victim, then that brings in others who are overshadowing others' energies or playing the part of the bully. It's all about energy. People that are like, what about curses? And well, when you believe them and you put your attention there, then you're opening yourself to be a vibrational match for them, right? So I don't give them any attention. I don't think about them. I don't care about them. I don't talk about them. It's time for me to join my clients for my readings today. Just to let you guys know that if you'd like to join us in the class, How to Open Your Third Eye with Archangel Michael, that's coming up on June 30th. It's only going to be $20. After that, it is learning all about Pleiadian Starseeds. And that class is going to be up on July 7th for $25. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.